everyone to Lighting the World with Truth. We have a special guest today, but first of all, I'm going to give you the title of our talk, Give Till I Drop. I wonder what that's about. Well, we'll find out, won't we? All right, my dear Eloy, would you please introduce yourself to our program?
Thank you, Sister. My name is Eloy Contreras, and I am the youth minister for the collaborative ministry ACTS, which stands for Active Catholic Teens in Service.
Oh.
And it's a collaborative ministry between the parishes of St. Patrick's, St. Edward's, and St. Richard's Parish.
Okay, and for those who are the guests that are listening, this is Racine, Wisconsin, in the United States. Just so you know the city that we are in. Okay, Eloy, tell us something about your ministry.
Our ministry is a little bit different than typical youth ministries that we have within the church itself.
Really?
Yeah, our focus is basically on service. It's a big component of our ministry. We do some catechesis, but it's more social responsibility, and it goes beyond catechesis. And what I mean by that, Sister, is that as Catholics, we are so well about catechizing our children, and so this ministry, what it does is it puts the children, or in the youth, to put living the gospel in their lives beyond catechesis. Wow. So what they learn in catechetical classes, they put into practice.
Yeah. So this is what you mean by service. You have an example? I mean, like what would be an example of some service?
Some of the service that we do is we go into the community, and we have done a lot of collaboration with the community. And so we kind of give back to the community in ways of service. That could be in various ways, in a sense that some of the venues that come to Racine, our youth ministry will go there and help set up those venues, clean up during the venues, and clean up after those venues. And so that's a lot of what we do during the summer months especially.
Yeah.
We do service projects, and we also do mission trips with them.
I was going to say, what a mission trip is like where? What can you...
Last year we took 3 youth from our parish, and we went to Cincinnati, Ohio, and we did a week of mission, in a sense, social justice. We served in soup kitchens. We also worked in women's shelters, and also nursing homes. So we do some outreaches.
Yeah.
Our ministry also goes once a month, the second Sunday of each month. We also do nursing home visits throughout the year. So it's and anybody who's just looking to give back or put into practice of the gospel are invited to participate.
Yeah. Now, what ages are these young people?
Well, the ages, when you say youth, ACTS, A-C-T-S, Active Catholic Teens in Service, we say teens. However, there are 2 components that are added to this ministry. One being we start when they're in 5th grade. We start a little bit younger, in a sense, so that the goal is that they have there's a comfort level that the children have especially when they're younger, and if they can speak to their peers about their faith and share their faith with people of their own age, with their peers, they're more prone, if you will, and able to do it as teenagers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's the goal. And then so we have 5th to 8th, and then we also have 9th through 12th.
9th through 12th.
2 tiers, yes.
Wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful. Now, why did you choose this ministry, Eli?
You know, it's not me that chose the ministry. I think it's the ministry chose me.
God's calling, you mean?
Exactly. I initially just started out as a volunteer because my daughter was going to be making her first communion. And I felt that there was a need, or there was a lack of activities going on for teens beyond the classroom. And so Father Anthony, who's the pastor of St. Patrick's, felt we needed to do something with these kids to engage them. A lot of non-denominations do that already.
Yes.
We, as a Catholic Church, we kind of are slow on that. And so Father knew that, and so he wanted to build up a ministry. And so the ministry was based off of what his vision was. I did some research on Father Anthony and prior to his ordination, and he didn't know. And he was featured in the Catholic Herald.
Oh, wow.
In a sense, he said he wanted to build a strong youth ministry. And so a lot of what we do is based off of what his goals and what his vision was.
Oh, that's neat. So now, can you tell me, what are the most valuable moments for you that and I know that's kind of a hard question, but what can you think of some of the most valuable moments in your ministry?
You know, there are, Sister, and I think one of the most biggest value that I find is when you work with a child or a teenager who oftentimes have low self-esteem, when you're able to find what they're good at and let them know and affirm that in them, they're more their abilities and they begin to flourish and they really go all out. So affirmations, giving that affirmations to the kids is one of the great values that I have. But not only that, but the affirmations I get from families and from them, that they appreciate the ministry and how important it is. I think that's the best value that I think I get from this.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now you mentioned three parishes: St. Patrick's, St. Edward's, St. Richard's. Do they work together or are they separate? You know.
It's fairly new in a sense that we just started it effective March 1st, and so what my goal is I've been going to each parish so that I'm visually there and I'm inviting these children to participate in this ministry. Our goal to set up a junior council in a sense that we're getting kids involved that actually will help run the ministry, to set up a commission of parents that will help us pinpoint what are the needs and what are realistic goals for us.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things we would hope to set up, and we're just starting baby steps, but that's the goal within the first year.
That's wonderful. Now, can you think of what kind of an impact does this have on the community here in the city?
Well, I think it has a positive impact in the sense that oftentimes when we think of some of the crime rates that go on within the city, oftentimes we pinpoint that to a lost generation. And so this is put into the community that not everybody is lost, and some people are being productive and giving back into the community. And so I think there's an added value of young people. I think sometimes we don't recognize that, the importance of it.
Yeah, because, we usually, it's so very common, unfortunately, to think of youth, doing this and that, and they don't know what they're doing, and they're not responsible. All that, that stuff that you hear all the time, and here they see these young people doing something that is, it's preaching the Word of God. Really, that's what they're doing.
Sure.
So I just have one more question now. How are you fulfilled by this ministry as Eloy?
Well, being fulfilled, I think it is living out what Pope Francis, when he was in Brazil, he called young people. Young people, do not stand in the back of the church, come forward in action. And so for me, it's not my fulfillment, but it's the fulfilling what the Pope, the Holy Father, is calling young people to do. And so it's not only putting out that call to young people, and you can put out any kind of call to young people. However, we have to put them into that mission and give them the tools in order to answer that call.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, we're almost finished here. Is there anything else you wanted to say to those that are listening to our program on this? Something that I didn't ask or you'd like to, add yet?
Well, I would just like to say that, our ministry and all ministries within the church, they're all intertwined. Oftentimes, we have women's groups, we have men's groups, and we have youth groups. However, when you put them all together, that's what makes us the Catholic Church.
And that idea of community.
And interconnecting.
And being one in Jesus,
Yes.
Really. Well, I really appreciate this. This has been wonderful. I'm sure our audience, those who are listening, are getting many things out of this. And so those who are listening here, and remember now, this is a beautiful youth ministry. You may want to be inspired to do the same, who's ever listening, to continue this in different places of the world. So I guess we could end with like a saying: preach to all, preach to all right now, everybody, nobody excluded in this ministry. And it is a form of preaching, you know.
Yes.
Yes, and so that's the message we want to send to all of you. And so we close right now. And remember, once you know the truth, you are responsible for it. God bless you.